All right, this is Crash Course episode 10 now, I think, where I take a look at your crashes that you send in with the uploader, the GMBN uploader, link down below, your fails and bails. So I take a look at your crashes and see if I can help you out, give you a bit of advice on how you can fix the problems or just simply why you crashed. Let's start with Ryan, who is riding a Santa Cruz Bronson in Teton Pass, Wyoming, riding the Black Canyon Trail in the rain and the hail. And check out this over the bars. Whoa! Wow, it's quite a big crash considering how small a log that was there. Really, that I think comes back to doing the right technique for manuals. I talk about this quite a lot in any manual skills video that I do. How to manual, I talk about using your weight to lift the front wheel, so getting back, basically doing that L shape. So you do a pump down to the bike and then slide your hips back, and then basically the bars come back with you. So your weight is over the back of the bike, and that's why even if you get it wrong, so if you drop that front wheel like Ryan did here onto that log, basically it shouldn't really matter because your weight's behind the bike, you're going to drive that front wheel up and over. So pulling on the bars just with your arms, it does work, and that's why a lot of people, I guess, sort of fall into the trap of doing it the wrong way, because you can do it. It's just when it goes wrong, like the timing goes wrong here, it really does go wrong. Plus you can't really use it for doing drop-offs or jumps. Next one comes from Quincy, riding a YT Capra in Cebu City, I think it's pronounced, in the Philippines. Check this out, it's a really steep, muddy downhill, super committed. You can see, well, you can hear all of Quincy's friends laughing at the end as he crashes at the bottom of the slope. It looks pretty good to me. It looks like you can sort of hear the brakes and the tyres slipping and then gripping. So that's the idea of something that's as steep and as gnarly as this. You've got to try and be as slow as possible without both wheels locking up. So you just want almost hear those sort of skids and then grip and then skids. So pretty good effort. You can see where it all goes wrong at the bottom. I guess sometimes, especially when there's a corner at the bottom. I think I talked about this in the last one as well with a guy at Whistler. Can't remember the name of the trail, but basically he gets down the steep stuff well, but it's the corner at the bottom that catches him out. So that's when you've just got to come off the brakes sometimes, or at least come off them a little bit, look to where you've got to go, otherwise you're going to crash, and then try and get off the brakes and get round that corner. But it's easier said than done, and it takes a lot of commitment. Right, now over to Tucson, Arizona for Gabriel, riding his Ibis Ritmo AF. He says, came in too slow and got my wheel trapped in a hole, and OTB I went. Made it okay with only some minor soreness. Yeah, check this bit out. It's pretty gnarly, this rock section. Yeah, like Gabriel says, maybe a bit more speed, you're less likely to sort of drop into holes as much, but of course something that's gnarly like that section going in too fast is going to be pretty dangerous as well. So yeah, if you've got those wheel size holes, definitely a bit more speed is you're just gonna plow through them a little bit better. But if you go back, let's reverse the footage and pause it, you can see actually I always look at people's feet. It shows you where their weight is, and if you're sort of toe down on the pedals, then it probably means that your weight is going forward anyway. So in that situation, it's much better to be slightly heel down, getting the hips behind the bike. Remember to keep your head up as well, and just getting the weight behind the bike is just going to drive you through those holes a little bit better. Right, check this one out. This is a bit bizarre-y. This is Matt riding his custom Kona build in Walden Mountain Bike Club. I don't know where this is, but look, Matt says he's riding a new trail, went way too fast and washed out on the landing. Huge bruise to show for it. Well, yeah, but look at the fox. Where does the fox come from? Did you go riding with a fox? I guess not, but that's so weird. They should have a big crash and the fox just walks past. It looks like a cool spot to me, like a really good riding spot. Yeah, too fast. You can see like you kind of half bail, which is bad news. Either you've got to commit. If you know you're going to jump off the bike, you want to do it as early as possible, and just I always jump over the bars if I think I'm going to need to bail. Something, if you're overshooting a jump, quite often it's best to stick with the ship unless it's going really badly wrong, like you're going over the bars. Normally you just stick with it and brace for a heavy landing, and hopefully you'll get away with it. Hopefully you'll use your bike to sort of take up most of the impact. That's why you've just got to stand super strong. I mean, I've definitely whacked my chin on the bars. No, most of the time in a full face helmet you'll get away with it. It's not great, but just brace for a heavy landing and try and stick with the ship. This one comes from Dan, at least the video is from Dan. He says her first time riding this drop, so I'm not sure who the she is, but panicked at the last second. This is in Elm Ridge Forest, Windham, New York. Yeah, you can see how the lady grounds out the chainring and just goes over the bars on that drop. Is gnarly actually. It's not a good situation to be crashing in. In that situation, either you need to go a little bit quicker, because the faster you go off drop-offs, the less you're gonna drop the front wheel. It's just your momentum works with you, so you get away with it a bit more. Obviously, like earlier I said, that the faster you go, you know, we all know this, the sort of riskier it is for having a bigger crash. But drop-offs too slow, and it's going to make it harder basically, because the slower you go, the more you're going to have to rely on a really well-timed manual to keep the front wheel up. Whereas a bit more speed, like I said, the momentum is just going to carry that front wheel off. So one of two things, either quicker or just learn your manual. I would say learn your manual, then you find yourself in situations where you can't throw speed at a drop off and you're going to have to manual. All right, that's it for episode 10 of Crash Course. There'll be a link in the description down below this video for your fails and bails. We use them in the Dirt Shed, we use them on our social media over on Instagram, GMBN. Check out our fails of the day. Loads of crashes there. Hopefully I can help you out as well by helping you not crash as much, although I've been crashing quite a lot recently as well. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video.